Hi, this is Eric Martin with BoardGameGeek. I'm here with Carla Schulta from Cosmos, looking at Decrew, which has been atop the Fair Play polls I've seen. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I know it's a trick-taking game, but beyond that, tell me what I need to know.
Okay,
What
great.
is different with this
well, you said it already. It's a trick-taking game, so you might think, well, we have had a lot of those games before, but what is different here, that is cooperative. So it is a cooperative trick-taking game, which means that as a player, I don't win cards just for myself in order to get points or to not get any points to win the game. But in this case, it's really important that we work together as a team to make sure that, for example, one player gets a certain card. And only if we can accomplish this, we win the game together or we lose together.
Okay, so how do we determine what we need to do?
Okay, so first of all, everyone gets playing cards, so all cards are distributed. And
hidden, of course, but
of course,
yes, for the
now
example.
they're yes, exactly. So the player who has the rocket card with the number 4 starts. So as usual, you have 4 different
suits.
Exactly, but we also have those 4 rocket cards, which are trump. So the player who has the 4 is the commander. And in the first mission, there are 50 missions in total. So missions get more difficult from one to the other.
And the idea is you will play through the missions from 1 to 50?
Yeah. You can skip missions if you want.
Or replay them.
Exactly, Especially when you fail, you have to, of course, replay it.
Yes.
Yeah. So in the first mission, for example, we take the first card from this little pile. So these cards are basically the same cards that we have over here, minus the rocket cards.
Okay.
So we take the first card in the first mission, and now the commander gets this mission card.
Public or in secret?
Public.
Okay.
So everyone knows that this is our mission, and the mission means that the commander has to get the cards or the trick that includes the green 4. In this case, we don't know the other player's cards, but he doesn't have the 4. Someone else has the cards.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So we have to make sure that the commander at some point in the game gets the green 4, which is over here right now.
Okay.
So in order to do this, we have to, of course, make sure that we play the cards accordingly. But, and now it gets interesting, it is a cooperative game, but we're not allowed to communicate about our cards.
Right.
So if I was sitting over here, I'm not allowed to say, well, I have the green 4, so let's do this or that.
That's right, how many green cards I have.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
So you're not allowed to communicate, but you have this little green signal over here. So at one point in the game, you're allowed to give information about one card, and one card only. So I could say, for example, I communicate that this is the highest card that I have. So I put this card on the table so that everyone can see it, and I put this signal at the top of the card to indicate that this is the highest green card that I have.
Okay.
I could also put the chip here to indicate, which is not the case here, that it is the only green card that I have, or that it is the card with the lowest value that I have from the green cards. So that can make things a little bit easier.
And every player can do that at once when they choose.
Exactly. But only before or after you're playing cards, not in between at Yeah. So we have those planet cards. You just take it in order to show everyone that there's one card on the table, so that you don't forget that you can use this card as well.
Yes.
So you can play it like all the other cards that you have. So this is supposed to make the game a little bit easier, to give some, clues about which cards you have, and to accomplish the missions. So it might be very simple in the first mission, because usually there are only, maybe 2 or 3 tricks, and then you accomplish the mission. It's very simple, but it gets harder from mission to mission. So we have this logbook here. Okay, this one. And it tells you about all 50 missions, so there's always like a little story. And the story tells you about, what's going on and what you have to accomplish. So for example, in the 3rd mission, there are 2 tricks that you have to get, but you have the numbers 1 and 2 that you have to put on the cards, which means that one card has to be won first and then the next.
Okay.
So it determines the order.
Okay. Okay, so initially just one card, and then 2 cards, and then a specific order, and then 3, and then take no tricks?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the commander decides who, takes no tricks in this round. He has to ask each and every crew member, how do you feel today? And if the person says, well, not very well, it means he doesn't really have good cards. So he could be the one who goes without any tricks in that game.
Okay.
Yeah. So it gets more complicated. So it's really good idea to start at the beginning and then, work your way through all those missions. Yeah.
Okay.
So it takes some practice to really know how to use those signals that you have.
All right, that looks amazing. That's good. I'm glad I have one already to take home.
Okay.
So excellent. Thank you very much, Carla.
You're welcome.
For an overview of D Crew from Cosmos. Thank you.